everyone out there. This is the second episode of Rolling Until Ragnarok, brought to you by Screwball Gaming. I'm Waywatcher, our great DM that is not having dragons in this campaign currently, but, you know, here are the rest of them. Everybody could say hi. Go ahead.
Hey.
Say hi.
Hello.
Say hi. Yeah.
All
right.
Hi.
Well, that was a try. That was good.
We're anxiously awaiting those dragons.
We
said hi.
About dragons.
I could see them.
Anyway, we left off last time with Meryl and Thistle keeping watch while Bramble and Eli slept. Bramble got okay sleep because she cuddled up next to a very happily sleeping Eli, while he was not able to realize what was going on because Eli is out like a stone. He needed it. He kept everybody alive through the vicious bear attack. But where we left off, it was early morning, right after, I would say, no, it's a little bit later into the morning, actually. I forgot. Y'all went to sleep during first light. So this would be about noon, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Wow. It's noon. Thistle's kind of like just zoning out while she keeps watch. Not being perceptive or anything, but kind of like tunnel visioning the like just staring off into the nothingness, waiting for something to happen. And right as Eli and Bramble would have gotten their like sleep, voices came from the other side of the hill. Meryl would be the first one to hear, and one of them was talking and said, you know, he didn't understand why they had to give him that dumb box, and that ever since then they haven't been able to catch any good food. And we're gonna come in there. Meryl? Thistle?
So I guess Thistle would have then heard this as well.
Right.
Okay.
Depending on how you're zoning in and out, but I feel like Meryl would go like, shh, shh. Just very, like she would pull her hair back and kind of go like this and go shh, so that way they could listen for anything else that they have to say.
So that one part was pretty loud, but generally they're talking just like normal people as they walk through woods, you know? So it's not like they're not like trying to keep their voice low, but at the same time they're not like trying to be loud either. Just one of them happens to be a little bit louder than others when he's annoyed, I guess. So go ahead and roll perception and let's see where we're at with this.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, I didn't do very well either.
I didn't either.
What do we get?
5.
I got a 7.
That's really good. So
Thanks for making me feel good.
while there is like, you know, you can still hear them. They're coming through the woods. You know that you guys are on like the side of like some tall grass. This is more lush grass. It's still weeds and stuff that is like, you know, doing its thing, but it's not as dead as everything else was as you're running through here. And now that it's daytime, you can kind of see that like, hey, you know, this is not as bad off as the rest of where we came from. And you can hear them, and it's more like they're coming towards you at a slow pace, and you can kind of hear like little like things over the air, like you can't really tell how many voices it is, but you know, you hear the murmuring of them, and one of them specifically is droning on about whatever he was talking about with this box and whoever they work for or did something with, or it's hard to make it out, but it's slowly coming your guys' way. I would say that you guys have a good like 10-ish minutes before they're like right up on top of you guys where the path is. You guys could try and hide because you are in like a little like secluded little cubby that you made, and the road the path itself is kind of like at the crest of the hill. So you guys are on one side of the hill, and they're kind of coming towards, from what you can tell, that area over here. Beyond it a little bit. So what are we doing?
I would say probably try to hide, but I want to be able to hear what they're saying at the same time.
I think Bramble's kind of still sleepy, so she really wouldn't have an opinion just as long as she could curl up for like 5 more minutes. So
I don't think that we would have waken you up.
No.
I think that Thistle and I would be like, okay.
Well, I think, like I said at the beginning, this is around the time when Bramble and Eli would start to wake up. So, like, they're, like, kind of coming to... That's kind of where we ended off, as they were, like, starting to, like, look around. Like, you know, it's you know, been a couple hours. Eli knows that it's been a couple hours, and there's still maybe a bear sort of chasing you, maybe. Like, he had the idea that he could go to sleep, but, like, still, you know.
Yeah, that's fair.
So...
how would Eli feel like waking up next to Bramble? Because she kind of like curled up.
How close did Bramble get to Eli?
You got like 5 quills in your face.
Like as close as possible, just because again, like she's a wild sleeper. You know, her siblings are wild sleepers, so it's nothing for her to wake up and there's like a foot on her face. It's just part of living. In that sense, you might have a few quills stuck to you. Just.
I'm just gonna wait, sit up, look, and he's gonna be very confused. Like, I know I didn't drink that much. And he's gonna pull these quills out. And he's gonna be like, Bramble, why are you so close?
And Bramble would be like, everybody sleeps this close.
That's a really good answer, actually. It's funny.
I feel like Meryl would quickly turn around and go, shh. She would shoot him, she would shoot Elias a message and quickly say, their voices in the distance. They're coming right at us. We've got like 10 minutes. So we're either hiding or we gotta flee.
Okay. Elias's immediate thought is gonna be, we're already kind of hidden in the bush line, so to just stay quiet, stay low, and let them pass. If you pick up on anything, great, but if not, don't try to follow them. We're not looking to draw any attention to ourselves right now.
Yeah. Agreed.
So, he's gonna kind of look down at Bramble, and he's gonna pull whatever quills out of him, and he's just gonna be like, get yourself together. And he's gonna kind of keep his head down, but make his way out to see what Thistle and Meryl are doing, or which way these people are coming from. But since he was warned ahead of time, he's going to come out trying to stay low, trying to stay quiet, and get a sense for, I guess, the lay of the land, because we got here when it was just first light, so it still would have been pretty dark when we got here, so outside of knowing we're down, kind of tucked away a little bit, I'm not super familiar with the surrounding area, so...
Does Meryl have enough time to climb?
I don't think he would try to climb a tree because it would put him too out in the open and easier to spot. So just as he's coming out, he's going to kind of do a quick look around, make sure there's not, like, any signs of anything coming up behind us or signs that there's been something behind us that might have been missed. And about how far did you say off these people were? We got.
So they're coming. Well, roll perception. Now that you're glancing about.
15.
Cool. You hear voices coming from the like northwestish of you. Not from the direction that you guys ran here in, but further ahead. So like from the direction of Greybark Forest.
Okay, so they're not following us, but they're coming from the direction we headed.
And what you can tell is that they're coming towards you, but you can't tell how many there are. But you can feel that they are coming like you can't you know that there is a path on top, so you could assume if you wanted that they're coming out of like the deeper forest to get on this walk path and go about, or you might think that they might walk straight through where you're going, where you guys are hiding, because theoretically they are coming like in that direction. It doesn't seem like they're going very fast. It mostly feels like they're just arguing amongst themselves, or talking and kind of like they're taking their time. You know what I mean? They're not. It doesn't feel like they're on any sort of like.
They're not out looking for somebody.
Yeah. No, they're just
going about their business.
Yeah, they're just doing their thing.
Okay.
We could try to stealth out there and get a good look at it.
That's what I was thinking. Is I would like Meryl to use her agility to quickly climb up a tree and go up and hide in one of the branches.
Okay.
And like closer to the camp, but where she is very clearly hidden.
Yeah.
Like she would take off her hat and hand it to Thistle, and then kind of scurry up the tree.
Cool.
Just so that way
stealth,
she has better eyes and ears.
Stealth and acrobatics.
Okay, that's not bad.
Turning over to go to sleep again for just 5 more minutes. Just give me 5 minutes.
That's fine.
If this is what's keeping Bramble quiet, Elias is not going to wake you up.
No, me neither.
Bramble has a bad dream where he goes, ah! Just looking around.
Okay, so
Uh-huh.
stealth is 18, acrobatics is a 13.
Cool. Okay. What are we doing? You're waiting to see them?
She's gonna be waiting to be able to hear them a little bit better, so that way she can see how many they are and message back down, so that way she can give accurate estimates.
I love the message spell so much.
Can I help her out? Since she's small, can I help her out by casting Minor Illusion to put like an extra thick branch of trees over her so she can see out, but it would look like an extra branch off a tree that's thick and wide enough to cover over her? So unless someone's inspecting the tree, it's just going to look like another branch, even though she'll be able to see through it.
Sure.
Didn't you roll an 18 on stealth though?
Yeah, but that
Yes,
doesn't have anything to do with their perception. I walk through the forest and look up all the time. I don't want any chances of anyone being seen.
Right.
Yeah, so that's because I don't know what Way rolled. I don't know what he for
made a face,
whatever
so-
characters.
Like,
He did make a face.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
I wonder why we feel this way.
I couldn't imagine.
So she would also. Can I do this?
All this is assuming a 5-foot illusion is big enough to cover Meryl.
I would
I
feel
think
Yeah,
five
I'm not 5 feet tall.
I don't think-
I'm a solid 4.
You're a 10 in my book. So
She's at most she would definitely be near 5 feet. So it would fit her box. I was trying to see if I could mold earth something, but that's more dirt and stones.
yeah, I think the minor illusion sounds great. Thumbs up. Investigation or perception? Perception for hearing, investigation to see if you can spot them. Go ahead. Pick one.
Perception, please.
Go ahead.
That's a 6.
Cool. They're still a little ways off, but one of them is like sorry. Look, I'm just saying, you don't have to complain the whole time we walk through these fucking woods. The other one kind of like answers back. It's a little bit lower. Some murmuring, and then he goes, Look, Bancho, I'm just saying, if you don't stop, I'm gonna stop you. And then you just hear like a bunch of snapping back and forth, and like a loud like crack, and then like some laughter.
But I still only hear 2.
Sure.
But if there's 2 people talking to each other, that would be the assumption.
Yep.
Okay. So she would message down, okay, I hear 2. They're fighting. But I don't know if there's more. I only know 2 people are talking to each other.
Stay hidden and see if you can figure out if there's more. If not, just let them pass, and we'll move on once they're gone.
I would say they're getting a lot closer.
Can I try again?
They'll hit the path in a couple, a good couple jaunts. So they're about to come out of the woods at least. Sure, try again. Investigation or perception?
What's the difference again?
Investigation, you are kind of like looking, and perception, you're just listening.
I guess I'll try investigation this time.
Okay.
$12.
Cool. You are like looking, you're still trying to get like a good you see one of them kind of peel out from like the thick of everything. It's a tall like lizard person that has a very thin snout, and like it almost like stubs at the front, and it's got like a bunch of it's not feathers, but like little like strands almost that come off of them in like different colors, and as he talks they kind of like almost like plume and flex a little bit, and they're like crocodiles, and yeah, and they don't have like thick tails or anything, but you can see, and they've got like these like they don't have armor on, but they specifically have like almost like ranger outfit type of things on. Like they're definitely woodland type creatures, and they are like dressed like they live in the woods, or at least do this a lot. You don't see any real weapons on them. Take that as you will. On a 12. And then the second one, who is a little bit shorter, a lighter skin toned, more almost like off-whitish, pokes out from behind a tree where they both stop and keep talking. And he's the one that is specifically like complaining. And as he's talking, he is looking around. And like it's almost like he's waiting for something or looking for something as he looks around. And then the larger one who was in the front kind of stops and starts like opens up this can and starts like fishing around with his finger in it and like pulls out like a little fish and starts eating it while he's talking. They're really just minding their own kind of business. And then the one that's smaller is like, you have food? Like, that's what I've been complaining about this whole time. Give me some of that. And they both get into a fight over the fact that he's not trying to share his food.
Okay, but I still only see 2 after rolling investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to message that down saying I still only see 2, but please stay hidden. I'm going to stand really, really still.
Got it.
So if she's comfortable with that, then I feel like she would just be like really just being in the tree as still as possible, still waiting to hear
Cool.
something.
They're talking. They stop fighting over the thing. He gives them a fish. They're little. These are like sardines. He like bites it and goes, it doesn't even taste good. I don't know why you wouldn't have shared it. And he goes, I didn't want to share it because you didn't like it. And if you don't like it, I don't want to waste my food on you. And then they both like make like they're friends. It seems like a friendly, like they're just making fun of each other at this point. He's like, well, your fucking nose is stupid. And like, and then they look around and then he goes, Slava, when did you say Rock was gonna get here? And then he goes, I don't know. He's always late. We always come to this stupid place and we sit here and wait. And I mean, think about how long it took him to get the dumb box. We had to wait for him and that stupid bear for like fucking 4 days. Around then, you would hear another voice from behind you, Thistle, and you'd hear, hey, did y'all know that there's like 5 animals over here just staring at you? And you all would spin, and there would be a much like thinner, almost like gangly looking lizard, like on the other side of the hill, down aside from you guys, like staring up at you. He would see Eli and Thistle. I don't know if he's noticed whatever. He's just screaming. And then they're like, what? And then they all start walking. And he's just like, yeah, there's like a fox. Hey, fox.
Sorry, we were just sitting in here minding our business. Thank you for waking us up and probably waking up our friend.
Well.
This is good noise for Bramble. She's going to turn over.
He looks over and he goes, is that your breakfast? Is trying to get away.
Breakfast? No.
It doesn't matter if it has quills. You can cop open the middle and get the meat.
We're not gonna do that. No, thank you.
He like sighs. There's not a lot to eat. Where are you from? Where are you going?
Well, we're from Coldmeadow. We're traveling in the forest.
The fuck's a Coldmeadow?
Why
And now the 3 of them are at the top of the little hill talking to each other while looking down.
By the water. Why does it matter?
Water. They all 3 look at each other and kind of shrug.
I'm sorry. We didn't mean to interrupt.
We didn't.
Didn't interrupt us. I just saw her looking, so I called it out.
Well, your friends were very loud. It was hard not to.
They are fucking loud. You're right. And then Slava's gonna be like, "Hey, what? I'm not that loud." And they're like, and they both look at him and go, "Yes, you are."
What are you guys doing out here?
Slava's gonna be like, well, and then he's immediately gonna get silenced by the taller of the 3, that is the gangly one. He's gonna say, my name is Bancho, and we are mercenaries. We finished a job. We decided we were gonna get food. Not a lot to eat, I must say, and frankly, I don't like turtles.
Yeah, not a big fan either.
Right.
Well, we are all too familiar with the lack of food problem.
Yeah. That's why we're out here in the first place.
He turns and looks at the other 2. What's that mean?
We're just trying to figure out what's going on. As you've have so kindly said, there's not a lot of food around. We're figuring that out in our town as well, so we have no idea what's happening.
Their eyes like focus in on you. They haven't seen Meryl at all yet, by the way. Just saying. He goes, so does that mean you're on your way to the forest? Greybark, right? That's what its name is. We're not from here.
Yeah, Greybark Forest.
He like smiles.
Do you know anything about what's up that way?
Did he say he's not from here?
Yeah.
Can I roll insight on that?
Yeah, go for it.
That's a 10.
You have a feeling that he's... It's like... It's not like a lie that it would be like, oh my god, but it seems like... It's one of those like, oh my god, tell me more type of things that people do.
Oh, so he just kind of like wants us to ask him for information,
Right.
basically.
Right.
So I feel like this will do and be like, oh, you're not from here? Where are you from?
He goes, we're from the foothills beyond the forest.
Oh.
There's a pond, and we like it there. But we had to wait for him, and then the other two look up at the one that arrived. They like call you all out, and he's like, it took me a while to walk all the way back here. And I didn't find where Jacques or what was the bear's name? What was the bear's name? He looks at the other two, and then the one goes, I didn't catch it. I just wanted him to leave. He was loud.
I think Bramble would like sit up there and like look around like after hearing that and be like, oh my god, right, and then like there not be a sense like she heard it before. Just
no bear. We're good.
Oh.
The smaller one would be like, are you sure that isn't your breakfast?
Pretty sure.
Who are they? And like Bramble's gonna like point, when did they show up?
The much louder one will be like, my name's Slava.
Bramble, nice to meet you.
You can call me Ash.
Great.
Oh, and I'm Thistle.
Ash, Thistle. He looks down and goes, Bramble. And then he looks up and goes, I thought you said there were 5. And then the other one goes, I just figured the bear would be here. With the fucking, what is it? The duck he had or whatever?
So there's more people you're waiting for? We don't
No, we were 3 bears.
They don't have anyone in our party by that description, so I don't know.
Oh. Have you seen any of our friends? One of them had something in his pouch that I needed.
Doesn't ring any bells.
Does he have a name? If we ran into you, we're likely to run into somebody else along our
That is true. We could keep an eye out.
If you run into some bears with a bird thing, tell them that Bancho and Slava were looking for him, yes?
Yeah.
You got it.
Great.
Although,
Are you sure you're going to Greybark Forest, though?
is there a reason we shouldn't be?
Yeah.
No. Have fun? He smiles. And when he smiles, his mouth is like just a river of teeth.
Right. Bramble's gonna stand next to Eli.
And I'm just gonna look back at you and just kind of pat you on the shoulder. Well, it was nice meeting you all. I guess we're gonna start getting ourselves up and ready and be on our way. If we see any bears, we'll
With
let 'em know.
birds or ducks? Yep.
Yeah, we'll let them know you're looking for it.
Cool. The smaller one goes, wonderful. Are you sure you're not gonna eat the little one? Can we eat? I'll buy the little one from you. He pulls out a sack. And it's pretty full.
All right. Bramble wants to look around for Meryl. Think that's who he's talking about, the little one. Right? Like.
And then he goes, I like the quills. You can use them afterwards to get everything out of your teeth.
Unfortunately, this one is quite important to our.
travels.
You talk me?
If you don't sell them to me, Dread might take them from you.
Dread.
Who's Dread?
Can I roll history on that? Would that be a name that Elias would know?
Sure, roll history, Eli. Elias.
Yeah. I got
Can
you.
Meryl roll history from the tree? Because she can hear
From the
this.
tree. Yeah, go ahead. Roll history, man.
I'll roll history. Let's all roll history.
Great.
It's gonna be a higher CD for Thistle and Meryl, but there is a reasonable CD for you, Eli.
I got a 15.
I got a 24.
I got an 11.
24.
Thistle.
On a 24, on a 24, there is a book of nursery rhymes and like old. Did y'all ever have that book of like scary stories from the dark or whatever when you were growing up? It's like one of those, but for like little kid kind of scary stories, and one of them has a nursery rhyme in it with a large shadow that has these eyes from a tree, and it says and on a 24, you'd recall it. It says, "The trees whisper his name in fear. Flee, flee, oh no, he draws near. You don't know the horror he brings. Run, run, for the shadows they sing. Find yourself in the wrong woods this day. Stick to the path, do not stray. Dread is waiting in the trees, ready to pounce on those that dare wander from the path to meet him here." And then that's like this little rhyme that little kids tell to scare their little siblings and stuff like that. The idea of it is that there is this very, very old thing in the woods that eats children named Dread.
I feel like hearing him say that and her remembering that would be like, oh, you mean that old child's story? My parents would tell me that when I was a kid, just to give me a little bit of a fright, but that's not real.
The tall one that spotted you would be like, his name's Rock. He'd be like, "Not real. We just sold him a box."
A box of what?
I fucking hate talking to that guy.
Why would you sell him a box, and what was in the box?
The box doesn't matter. Like I said, we just saw him. I mean, jest is kind of a terms of time. We saw him this week. Dread is very real. Are you sure you don't want to reconsider his offer? Slava's like, "I'll still take the little one."
Oh, where did you see him at? Was he in the forest?
Slava's gonna be like, "Yeah, he's Greybark Forest. The reason there are stories of anything in Greybark Forest is because of Dread. He's all the monsters."
Is there something Dread looks for in particular to allow passage through his woods?
Obedience. And he just stares at you.
Bramble would take this moment to point out that she is not a child and therefore has no fear of children's stories.
Your lunch. I would be quiet.
You're not anyone's lunch. Don't worry, Bramble.
He smiles.
Bramble would be like, "I'm poisonous."
So when you say I'm poisonous,
Eli.
the smaller one, the one that was being a jerk running up named Boncho, he's gonna go, "Yeah, well," and when he bites down, you're gonna see saliva drip and acid sear the ground as he does it. We're all venomous.
Sliding a little bit further behind Eli, just
Look.
And then Boncho, Slava's gonna say, "Leave the little one alone. If they don't want to sell it, it's their fault. There's not a lot There's not a lot of food here anyway. I understand why they don't want to sell it. Enjoy your lunch. We don't have to share. It's fine. Go! And then the other two start to leave. And then he looks over at Eli, who I guess he's deciding is the one in charge. And he's going to say, If you enter Greybark, though, and we see you, we have to... If we're told we have to kill you, we're going to have to kill you.
I understand. Everyone has to do what they need to survive.
Remember, I offered to buy it. I'm just saying. We could have made a trade instead.
Yeah, Bramble's like, not for sale. And like peek back down over like...
It's going to like look down and like sneer. And then be like, so I know.
But a trade. That's not me. That's not Meryl saying it from the treetop.
Oh, I was like, I will play that out
Nope.
immediately because you are another small animal.
Exactly.
No.
But
I'm just like, what do they have to offer to trade? Like, what are they attempting for value?
And then he turns and goes, anyway, be careful, I guess. And then he goes, hold on, let's go find these 3 bears. And he walks away. And leaves you to your devices.
Right.
So I'm going to wait until they're far enough away to be out of earshot.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they're clearly gone, I'm going to call up the mirror and tell her to come down.
I'll do one more sweep, just in case, to make sure there's nothing else coming out of the forest.
Smart.
I think Bramble would step outside, from behind you and like shake her fist, be like, "Yeah, you just definitely left," and like pretend she was like being strong the whole time, like she wasn't afraid of being their lunch.
Yeah, they were terrified.
If I wanted to do one more sweep, what would you want me to do? 18.
Cool. Nothing. You see them, they walk down the hill together, and then you can see them just kind of hitting the tree line up ahead. Kind of the way you came.
And can I see anything else across the forest? Scanning the way that we want to go.
It's pretty dense. There's some birds in the sky.
Are the birds doing anything weird?
No, they're birds.
Well, I didn't know if they were like flying in a crop circle pattern. I don't know.
Oh, no, I had nothing planned for that.
I just thought I'd check.
I feel
okay,
you.
so
it's smart.
She would come down and she would go, "Oh, did anyone notice when they said 3 bears? And we got away from
crocodile
one?"
catches. I was playing. Go ahead. I'm playing. Please go. 3 bears. Keep going. I had to make the joke. Please go.
Okay.
I did
Sounds
notice.
good.
I did notice they said 3 bears, which means we need to be that much more careful moving forward. And let me.
We know
that
one is
map.
dead.
All rumors have a kernel of truth in them, and I don't like the way they were talking about Dread in that forest.
Me neither.
I want to know where Meryl came from, because they were talking about small animals, and I was like, oh, snap, they're going to eat Meryl. But then she wasn't here. And I don't think that's fair.
We'll catch you up a little bit later. Right now, we need to figure out how to move forward and to get around Greybark alive, because the last thing we need is a group of mercenaries chasing us down in their home territory when we don't know where we're going.
Of course, and she would, Meryl would share what she has of this map. This drawn up drawing. She's like, of course, please, let's figure out where we should go. And she's tried to make like little notes as she's gone. So there's like a little like purple pen over the drawing. So we still need to go obviously into the forest, and she would explain that of what she heard and saw. Although I'm annoyed that the creatures were like, It's not important what's in the box. It's very important what's in the box. If you sold them the box.
I understand you want to know what's in the box,
They weren't
but
gonna
from
tell us.
personal experience, you don't ask other people about their business transactions unless you're involved in them. That's a good way to make enemies.
Well, I mean, they said they would kill us if we saw them again, so it's not like they're our friends.
They said they might if they were ordered to, which, from a mercenary standpoint, is pretty much an offer of friendship and telling you, hey, we're going to do what we have to do, so don't be in a place where we might have to do what we have to do.
Bramble's like soaking in all this, like extra knowledge. Again, she's never been out the parks, but okay, check. Mercenaries, they're kind of not friendly. Mind your business, right?
And Thistle, you did a great job holding your cool, but you also give away a little too much information. They don't need to know that the town is called Coldmeadow or that we're even from a village near here, because if they're hungry, they may decide to let's go the way they were coming from and see if they can figure out where exactly that village is. So
No, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
everyone just needs to think a little carefully before talking to strangers. Consider what you have to say, because you never know what'll come back to bite you in the end.
Yeah, because we're just used to talking to people in the town, so.
Yeah. Everyone out here is not your friend.
This is
But-
great. This is
Meryl,
like
that
real
was not
hero
a
stuff.
challenge. I saw your eyes light up, Meryl. That was not a challenge.
But they could be. Anyways, let's take a look at the map.
Yeah, I want to see if I can find the shortest path through Greybark. If we could cut across corners of it to move through it quickly, but come out and then make some progress and then cut back through it from a different angle to get back across. Whatever we can do to get through quickly, while saving as much time moving forward, but not a straight line through the forest that will make us spend more time in the forest than we need to.
You are... Well, let me switch to the map scene.
Yeah, Bramble knows nothing about
you
reading
go.
maps because that's not her field specialty. But she's gonna be like, "Does that mean we should go in a zigzag pattern, right?"
So roll survival, Meryl and Eli, since you two are going to be the ones that probably can best read a map. I don't really know what Thistle and Bramble have to do with this. I don't know.
That's an
16.
You said you're natural 1?
11.
Oh,
16.
you said that was a natural 1. You're somewhere in this area.
Okay.
You think.
Okay. So we shouldn't go near the big X unless that means treasure, but the mountain is also crossed off. So I
Right.
believe that this wise map maker does not want people going to these areas, or they want to keep the treasure for themselves.
I would assume the treasure is this little shovel up in the top corner.
We should go to the shovel.
It's
need
right
to-
next to the paw print too. We should go to the paw print too.
The only issue with that is that in order to get to the paw print or the shovel for the potential treasure, we have to move through the thickest, densest part of Greybark Forest, which is the thing we are trying to avoid. Our best course of action is to move along the outside of the forest to the west and then cut through the thinner part and make our way back across. We have much better chance moving through the foothills than spending any unnecessary time in Greybark Forest.
You rolled a 12, you said, right?
An 11.
What did you roll?
16.
So clouds wise, I'm pull thing. You can't really tell where, but you know the cloud thing is happening somewhere in this area. And I only say that because you can tell that it's on that side of where the mountain is. but you can't tell exactly where it's all going down to. You know what I mean? You just know where the tallest mountain is in compared to where you see it, and you know it's not further south or east. The map is, you know, realistically east is the towards the mountain, but whatever.
Because we're keeping our mountains to the east.
That's what I said.
So Meryl would she would agree with Elias, but she would go counterpoint. We should make our way to the dark, scary cloud as soon as possible. Because, and she would recommend going through like here. Because it's the thinnest part if you start right at this apex corner and move this way.
Bramble wants to like point at the map. Are those gumball machines? They look like gumball machines. My sister would love a lot of them would love that. Oh,
But
I'm just being home.
Meryl's gonna pat her head and still keep talking about the map. And be like, well, this potion thing looks really cool, but again, I don't really know anything about this map maker, so I don't know what would inspire them to make these symbols. So I agree with spending less time in the forest, but we shouldn't deviate too far from where we can't see the black cloud. Because that's truthfully where we need to go, and fast. Who knows how much more of the moon we're going to lose.
Right. That seems like a fair compromise. I mean, we definitely need to cut through the shortest part, but I agree. We shouldn't deviate too far that way. Because like you said, who knows what'll happen.
my issue are these marks on the map. We don't know anything about the map maker or what these symbols are. And walking blindly into a map that may be telling you to avoid something does not seem like a good idea when we've had enough trouble surviving. And this dense little thicket that we're in now, we're not even in. Our journey has only just started. We are going into the hard part now. The little bit of extra time may be the thing that keeps us alive.
But there's other symbols up there in that top corner too.
Yes, but going through the middle of that puts us further away from any other symbols while keeping us through the thinnest, shortest path through the forest.
I mean, and how do we know that they've marked everything that there is to mark?
We don't.
Exactly.
But we do know the things that have been marked.
We don't know what they are.
Hey, Thistle.
Yeah.
Roll intelligence check.
19.
Symbols in the top left corner are common symbols for waterfalls. You would know that from having...
So I would just point that out to everyone and say, well, those symbols obviously look like a waterfall symbol. That's a pretty common marking there.
They're very common map symbols for waterfalls.
That's even more reason for us to head that way. We're already low on supplies. Having an easy, reliable source of water could be invaluable.
I mean, because we're going to need supplies if we're going to make that extra trip out that way. I mean,
Exactly. We already are low on supplies as it is. The last thing we need is to run into something in the mud where things are actually going to be dangerous and not be able. We just passed mercenaries that work for the guy that runs this place, and they can't find food, and that's literally their job.
Is it possible for like the roots of the divine tree to be out this far? Maybe like Bramble could use like detect magic to see, and ask the great tree if it would kind of give some guidance. Is that possible?
Sure, roll D100. Seems super reasonable.
Okay. 52.
You're praying. How you feel?
Oh, you know what? I would feel a little bit better after, again, talking
Mhm.
to the divine tree, hoping for a little bit of guidance on the quest that it has clearly chosen before. And so I would be asking it for a little direction.
Talk to me. What are you saying?
Well, first I would kneel, right, to, maybe hopefully tap into some of its roots and be, oh, great divine tree that has, looked after me for so long. My crew and I need some help to know which way to go. Could you, guide us with your roots of magic that reach far and wide? What's the safest direction after everything we went through, to get where we need to go, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
I think that's good.
Couple moments pass, and then there's a breeze for the first time in like months. So take it as you will.
Do I know the direction? Like, which direction do I feel the breeze coming from?
Oh, yeah, it comes from behind you and pushes you towards the woods. Sure. It's going straight towards the woods, I promise.
Right. Um, so Bramble will stand up and be like, "Did you guys feel that?
Yeah, I did. That
It's
was
a sign.
incredible.
It's a sign from the great tree. Forward. We move forward, straight ahead."
How long? Could I get an idea of how long it would take us to move through these, straight through the forest if we get lucky enough not to be interrupted by something?
Yeah, like, do I have any books that I brought with me that would maybe talk about how big the forest is?
Graybark Forest is at the thickest spot. First of all, the problem with Graybark Forest is like people know how big it is, but like there are too many stories of people just going in and never coming back. That's most of them. So it's a good 2 to 3 weeks deep. Like just walking straight. If you make really great time, you could probably do it in a good week. At like some of the thinner parts. You don't really know much about the rest of it.
I say we aim for a thinner part then. 2 to 3 weeks is way too long.
How long is it going to take us to get to a thinner part? And when's the last time we felt wind? It's clearly guiding us forward. How long would it take us to get to this waterfall? Bramble's feeling encouraged by the divine tree, if anybody.
I know. And I want to go along with that, I do, but I just keep hearing 2 to 3 weeks, and I'm like, that's a really long time.
Well, you guys are looking at the map reasonably. If you decide not to follow the advice of the divine tree, how long will it take us to get to the waterfall?
Do we have a way to determine that?
Not really.
Not really. Okay. I'm not sure. I don't know. But I mean, all these other weird symbols in the middle don't make me feel better. At least we know for a fact the one symbol up near the top is a waterfall. How bad can that? Well, I don't want to say how bad can that be. We might jinx that.
Another breeze picks up And now there is a light tremor in the ground.
Let's move. Let's move and talk. Let's move and walk,
walking and
please.
talking.
More signs from the great divine tree.
I don't think the tremor's from the tree. The wind is really nice, so please thank the divine tree for me for the wind. But I don't think the tremor's the tree. I think the tremor is an animal, and we need to leave.
Okay, how about this? In order to get a feel for this map creator and what they've got going on, we enter the forest right about there. We can maybe check out what that X is since it's right on the edge of the woods.
I hate the way that you just looked at us, Way. So sorry. I hate the way you just looked at that way. No. Your face at the way at what Elias just said terrifies me.
I just like that we're making decisions.
We can check out.
We're gonna roll insight on that.
Yeah, let's roll insight against the DM, shall we?
I'm down.
All right, Bramble's like, all right, let's head towards the X on the map. Right, she's 100% behind Eli. Like, he's giving great hero advice, and she's going to take all of it in and, finish this quest. To the X it is.
Very cool.
To the right of the
Maybe there's
X.
some kind of weird portal thing, and these two X's are connected, and it'll be a shortcut.
Yeah.
It is weird that there's two of the same symbol. So either it's both really bad or really good. And
Right, which is why we're going to scout it from the edge of the forest first.
Okay.
yes,
And see
from
if
the edge.
depending on what's there, we'll either go into the forest there and make our way across. If things look dicey there, we'll make our way up past it, go closer towards the waterfall, and cross there.
Okay.
I'm in agreement with that. I think we can scout the edge, and if not, we'll go left.
So we set out.
Yes.
We're going as far away from that eyeball thing as remotely
Absolutely.
possible.
I don't want to go near the eyeball thing.
Cool.
Really cool drawing, though.
Kasha thanks you. Let's Okay, so we're walking. We're in the friggin' hunting area of the forest. Bramble already rolled. This'll go ahead and roll a d20.
The 6.
Roll
Man, what is up with these rolls
roll
today?
a d12.
That is a 9.
You guys are walking for some time. After a while, I think that you'd begin to do the normal thing people do where they talk amongst each other, they look around. You're getting used to walking through these woods at this point. You're also getting used to the fact that there's some birds here and there. You're not seeing a lot of stuff.
While we're walking, can I keep an eye out to see if there's anything that's forageable that I maybe recognize that way to just kind of build up our reserves?
Especially in the hunting area, which you would imagine that the animals that were here would feed on it. So I feel like this is our best chance to find food.
Agreed.
Cool. You push past some skunkweed and some regular poison oak and whatever, the regular weird viney stuff that you find everywhere. The closer you get towards where Greybark is, the more fey everything becomes. More fey, more of this realm you get an idea of. Also, you start to feel frost, because it is supposed to be that time of year after all. And the closer you're getting, the more of like there's a breeze now, and every once in a while there's some precipitation. You're getting back weather as you walk. You'd be able to see your breath finally. This is normal though for this time of year. This is what you expect where you're from. There's some like you would push.
As we're getting into this area, as things start getting colder, do we start to notice like frost, or like is there? You said precipitation is like. Does it seem like the drought and the dryness and everything are moving towards the mountain, or the rain and stuff is coming out slowly and it's just been slowed down on its way out to the rest of the world?
Roll nature.
Doesn't matter. That's a nat one.
Great. Cool. And so while you're looking, you would find some roots that have been it looks like people have planted these roots. So like there's like some carrots growing, some stalks of like other like root vegetables. You could grab them. Something. There's like a couple like every once in a while you find like that one tomato bush that still has like some of the tomatoes on it, although they're kind of like eked a little bit. They're old basically, but I mean, I don't know if y'all ever ate old tomatoes, but you could pull off pieces of it still and eat it. Like it's not a crazy big deal here.
At this point, with the way things are right now, we wouldn't pass up any edible food.
Right.
So
you're grabbing some of this stuff and you're starting to like throw it in your bag. Thistle, you rolled. You'd get a waft of something that would like strike your nose, like literally strike you. Like you'd be like, oh, what the fuck? That's when everybody else would start to feel it, like smell it. Eli, roll perception.
okay.
And you know what? Bramble, you too.
Okay.
Today is not one day. That's a 5.
Got a 25, nat 20.
Okay.
Thank you.
Nice.
So all of you are kind of like, you like kind of look at each other for a second, and then Bramble, you have a large family. And one of the things about having this large family is that means that you guys pack stuff into like ice chests, and like also you have little kids running around, and you know, little kids like to hide shit so that like they sneak it and then they hide it. This is like rotten meat. That's what the smell is. And having a bunch of little children running around the house, they've obviously like maybe something got thrown under the couch, maybe something got put into something. The point is that you've smelled this before. Right. And on a nat 20, you're like, why is there rotten, like meat laying around? You guys would like kind of push past one of the thing, like into like past the tomato bushes, and there's just, I want to say like 10 or 20 dead wolf, like coyote-ish mangy dogs, all like piled up against this like outcropping of dust, like dirt mounds, and it looks like they've just been laid there to rot, not picked at, not fucked with, just gutted and left. There's that there's that slight like earth tremor again as well as this happens.
You say gutted. Can we tell what's missing from them?
Roll investigation.
Okay. Alright, let's see if this will work here. Okay, that's a 16.
You quickly glance, I guess, and kind of look. It's hard to get close to him. It's a very putrid
funny.
smell. Also, they're kind of drippy. And some of them look fresher than others on a 16. But it looks like they've been bled. I don't know if you've ever gone hunting like that before, but you have to bleed the stuff. But this is like a waste almost, and you can't really tell why. I don't think you know why, so we're gonna leave it at that.
Well, would I know about spells that require blood?
Probably, yeah. I mean, you read a lot.
So could I start running through lists in my head? Because if this is a large amount of creatures that are specifically missing their blood, then Meryl's perspective is, okay, what ritual are they casting? What spell is what's a component that requires blood?
There's a lot of spells that require blood, especially necromantic spells. But I mean, there's a whole list. It's a kind of a. I mean, if you'd like to roll Arcana and see if you can narrow something down if they are doing something, but without knowing other things, it's really hard to say because blood is just a component in a lot of things.
Okay. No, that's fine.
Good.
All you. Tag.
Oh, I was gonna say, can I like attempt to maybe roll nature to see if I can figure out what that earth tremor might be?
Yep.
Uh, 14.
Cool. Feels like an aftershock from an earthquake that has just gotten towards where you are. You didn't feel the earthquake, you felt the aftershock. Means the earthquake was further away.
From what direction?
It's very hard to tell when the whole ground moves, let me tell you.
Right. But there was an earthquake somewhere.
The second one, though.
Okay.
Right around then, I think that you would see like one of the things fall over, and this like a hand would push out, and it'd be like, ah, shit, dropped it, and then it would jump up, and a frog would be sitting there and look over at you, and he'd be like, oh, what's up? And just stare at you for.
Hi.
And he'd look like he was on like guard.
Hello.
Sorry, didn't mean to
Hi.
scare you there.
Why are
Meryl
you
would
sitting
hold.
on a giant pile of meat?
Meryl holds up the carrots. She has. Just to show what's in her hands.
Yep.
She has roots and carrots. She's
Those
just
are. Yep, those are carrots. We planted those. Can Ooh.
Oh.
It would like look around, and then it would like hop back like 10 feet. So now it's like peeking around a bunch of the dead bodies, and then I think you'd get a sense that it looks like it's making like a wall.
Yeah. Bramble wants to know about the pile of dead bodies, the rotting meat. Hello, Mr. Frog?
Yeah. Porcupine?
Hedgehog?
Cool, same.
Yeah, okay. Well, Mr. Toad, maybe you can tell us about the dead bodies.
Mr. Toad was my father.
The same.
Kinda.
Exactly.
Brown
Dead
skin.
bodies.
Hello there. Please don't be afraid. We were just.
Oh no, we're gonna be
passing
afraid.
through.
Are you?
This always works when Elias. Why can't you just tell us about the bodies, the things you have stacked? Yes.
The bodies. These are ours. Go away.
They
Ours?
smell awful.
Ours.
Oh, who else is here? Can we say hi to them
Hundreds.
too?
Go away.
Hundreds.
Hundreds.
Would it make you feel better if I told you my name?
Wait, are they all your siblings?
Nope. Some of them.
Oh.
Like
Bramble?
26.
Right. That's not what Elias would say. Crap.
What's an Elias? And it like
no,
as it
what's
like
something-
clicks, you see its tongue like and grab something and then go back to it.
Bram's gonna be like, crap. Elias said not to give a lot of information. His name is Ash.
Oh. Oh. And it looks around. And then you see another like couple flies and it grabs like 3 of them with its tongue and goes back. And he's like,
oh,
my name's Dart.
hi, Dart. That was
Hi,
really
Dart.
impressive. Do you do that all the time?
He like squints and looks at you. And he like kind of
So-
like he's like fidgeting a lot. That's how I eat.
That's cool. Do you want a carrot?
Are you with the No, we plant the carrots and then they rot and then I eat the flies.
Oh,
Oh,
pretty
okay.
smart.
Wow,
That's
that's really
clever.
you seem really smart.
Are you with the bird?
What bird?
There's a bird.
The bird. Are you with the birds? You look
No
like you're with
birds.
the birds.
I don't know any birds.
Nope.
We're not with any birds. We're not with any bears. We are
Bears.
just-
What about? And it like backs off.
No,
What
no
about
bears.
bears?
No bears.
There are no bears.
We are.
It like looks around and it like keeps like this dude is like he's sketched.
It's just the 4 of us. We're just see 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just no one else is here.
It's a
Well,
lot of
and
counting.
then all your 100 people.
It's a lot of counting.
Well, you were counting to 100 earlier.
Yep.
Yeah. So
way more
can
counting.
you introduce us to anyone else?
I come from a really big family too, so 100 is a lot.
Okay, well, I don't think we really have time to be meeting anybody else. We do
Yeah, I
have
think we
things
should
to do.
be on our way.
Dart, it was nice to meet you. We'll just be on our way.
Sorry again for bothering you.
But his 100 siblings might know the forest. Like my
I know the
37
forest.
siblings.
What forest? Wait, which forest?
Not
this one.
Yeah,
You know,
this one.
forest?
No, not this one. This one the birds are in. I know the other forest. That's where I'm from, but the other forest nothing is growing right. So I came out here and now and I'm eating out here.
Yeah, nothing's growing where we're from either. So I understand.
That's because
but,
of the birds.
Do you know about the birds? What can you tell us about the birds?
I don't like the birds.
I don't like the birds either. But do you know how many birds there are? Do you know what the birds are doing?
Do any of these birds have a name?
No, I go to sleep at night and then the birds eat. I don't
What do the
like
birds
being
eat?
awake at night.
I know. I like sleeping next to all my siblings too.
Right.
It's all like warm
Again.
and there's lots of noise.
Gets back.
Enough
So-
about the sibling. Do you know a way to help avoid the birds?
Do I
Oh,
know a
right,
way to
birds.
what?
Can you help us avoid the birds? We don't want to bump into any of the birds either.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other
Don't
side
go
of
in the
the forest.
woods.
Oh, we have to go in the woods. Is there a way around the birds in the woods?
What are you doing in the woods?
We need to go figure out why there's no food anymore.
Because
We
of
have
the
been sent on a-
birds.
Quest by the divine tree itself.
What tree? Which tree?
Okay, we're too many things are being said. Dirt. Why are you saying these birds are the
Another
reason
head pops up and it's a second frog from the
You do
side.
have a big family.
And it looks over, and this one has thinner eyes, but like a bunch of like yellow and red lines on its head. And it looks around and goes, Dart, why are you talking to these people? Just shoot them.
Don't shoot us.
And Dart looks at him and goes, they're just taking some of the vegetables. They're not trying to take any of the flies.
No, we're not taking anyone's flies.
We don't eat flies.
No.
We don't want your flies.
They're gonna go. They said they're gonna go to talk to all the birds.
We want to avoid the birds, actually.
He looks over. The other one looks over and goes, "Okay, well, I mean, if you want to avoid the birds, just turn around and leave."
Well, that's the only option we don't
the
have.
other side of the woods. Do you know of a way to do that without running into the birds or angering them?
Why do you want to go to the
woods? What are
woods?
birds doing to make all the food go away?
He like sits back and like pulls out like this little, it's like a folded like little napkin, and he unfolds it, and it's just like grapes, and he just starts like eating these grapes. It's just a frog eating grapes at this point, but he's like, and like as he does it, but it like his like tongue wraps around it and squishes it and and goes in his mouth, and he's like I don't know why you'd want to go in the woods. He just keeps eating.
Well, we kind of have to go in the woods because
Our divine quest has led us to the woods.
You're on a quest?
Because we're trying to get to the big cloud in the sky. Have you seen it? It's big and dark and gray.
And it's consuming the moon.
Yeah, that's why. That's that. I think that's why all the birds are eating things. Well, because normally they don't live here, I don't think. And it just pops, and like this grape, like as it pops, it gets all over them. They all moved in after all the, what do you call it? The water went away in the sky. And he eats more.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out what happened to the rain and the weather too.
Mm.
What do you know about this cloud, and why did it send the birds here? Or
I don't know anything about the cloud. I know the birds came from up north. And they're eating everything. There's a lot of them.
What's everything?
Everything that's alive. Well, all the other animals. See, we're little. We're little. I don't like big animals. I don't like you, fox. And then he like looks around. He goes, y'all are mean, and the birds, they're the worst. I don't like any of them. We don't like any of them.
Yeah, there are some big, mean animals, but not them. They're different. They're good. See, like a smaller with big personality animals. You know, we get that.
He like looks around. Roll charisma.
No, Bramble has awful charisma.
Yeah, well, you can feel Alex's pain for a minute.
All right. Am I rolling a check? What am I, like straight charisma?
Straight charisma check.
I also love, I'm trying to talk more and be in these conversations, and you're picking everyone else but me, and I have the highest charisma.
You're doing really
Right.
well.
You're not picking me to roll!
I don't need to.
a 7.
Cool. 7. He goes, personality, I don't know anything about personality.
I think we're getting off topic here.
Very off topic.
The birds, what exactly are they doing in the woods, and how do we not run into them?
Or is it just impossible not to run into birds in the forest? It's just full of birds.
They're just all over the fucking forest. It's a problem. It's a problem. It's a problem. A third head pops up and like whispers to him. This one's an all black frog. And it like looks over and then like slowly just pulls back. And then the first one is like, just go ahead, just go to the woods, and it'll be all right, because you're looking for birds to talk to the clouds or whatever you said. Just go.
You didn't listen to anything we said, did you?
No.
I think they're just trying to get rid of us.
All right then. Well,
But you
Alright.
have 100 siblings. Like, nobody knows the way through the woods. Out of all 100 of you, I don't know, because my family knows the entire town, and there's only 37 of us. So with the 100 of you,
37.
what?
He's like 37.
Yeah, there's a lot of us. So you got to know something about the forest.
We lived in the forest. We left
Right.
the forest.
Okay,
actually,
before you
here's an
left.
idea. Can I show them the map and see if they could potentially tell us what any of those symbols mean? Like show them the forest and see. Do you guys know what any of these might be? What's this little eyeball thing here? Or you know what would be here at this X, just so we know what to.
He's
keep a lookout
gonna like, the first one, the dart is gonna like creep closer, while the other two like, the third one that like came up is gone. They're like behind the body, and then the other one's like watching as Dart gets like closer, and as you see Dart completely, you notice that he's got like a blow dart gun on him, and he's got like tons of like knives all over him, and he's like heavily scarred up. Like, think like
He's a battle toad.
yeah, there you go. We're not saying Battletoad, but he's a battle frog.
Bro.
And he like creeps up and he looks, and he like side eyes the whole thing, and he goes, "Those are paws."
Yeah, the
Yep,
person who
got
made
that
this
part.
is
Can you
put
identify
paw.
any of these other things?
Like, where did y'all live?
And he looks at the map, and he's like, "Why are these circles here? Do you know?"
I don't. Do you know what should be there?
That's where we lived.
Okay, so y'all lived where the circles are. Okay.
Wait, why don't you live there anymore?
Because of the
The
birds.
birds.
What's this little archway with this eye next to where you guys used to live? Any idea what that would be?
He looks. The archway might be the upside down path. That makes sense. Yeah.
What's the upside down path?
You like. Fuck! I forgot all about the damn spider. You might you go, and then it's like you can see through the ground. It's all clear. And then when the sun comes out, if you look up, it's too bright. You can't see nothing. So you have to look down while you walk. That's the way through it. You look down, so there's like a mirror, so you can see above you.
Interesting.
Makes sense.
Okay.
So, what was the way that you guys came out of the forest? Did you pass by this big X?
Roll charisma.
You see the grin on her face?
She got this.
I waited my whole life.
Waiting my whole life.
If you roll a 1.
I have been waiting my whole life for this. That was a 19.
He gets a little bit more comfortable because nobody has struck him.
We would never.
Exactly. He's got lots of siblings. Probably has to look after a lot of them.
And he like goes, "Yeah, we just came out of the woods." And he like points to where, like, just at the area of like walking. So like right here.
Okay. And did you see anything through there that you think I should add to this map?
No. There's a lot. I mean, there's rivers all over the place, and the map doesn't have any of the water. Like the whole half the forest is swamp.
Anything unusual though, out of the ordinary that
Have
you
you
would
ever
thought
been to
I-
Great Bark Forest?
No, it's our
No,
first
that
time.
thing.
His eyes light up. He's like, "Oh, the whole forest is unusual, and you're gonna have a lot of fun, I think. And by that, I mean you should go home."
Well, we can't,
Personally,
but
I've been wishing that was an option for the last several days. Unfortunately, we are on a set path.
Do you have a brother or something that would come with us to help us on
So
our great trip?
as you guys look up now, there are like 20 frogs perched around these dead animals, like
Yes.
looking down at you guys.
hello.
Yes.
Various sizes. And then all of them in unison are just shaking their head like, "No, we're not going back to the forest."
Meryl would hold up the map though and point at the X, being like, "Does anyone tell us maybe what this means? We're trying to figure out the best place to enter the forest.
They look around.
I mean, it's all bad, but if there's a best out of the worst, that's what we're looking for."
Dart points at where the cat paw is walking to the forest. He goes, "That's where the path is."
So we should follow the path?
"No, you should go home."
We've already, Dart, I feel like we're becoming friends here. I think we've already established we can't do that.
Alright, let me ask you this. Is there any one place in the forest where the birds congregate or meet up the most frequently?
No. They
They're just
fly over the
everywhere.
forest and they kill everything.
So they didn't invade your home?
We live
Right,
there, and
that's-
they. You know what? I think
They're everywhere. They're all throughout the forest.
I think that when you go, you'll see, and then you'll say, "Man, we should have went home instead of what's happening now." There's another
Probably.
tremor.
Do you know what's causing those tremors?
Probably all the clouds going away.
Is the bird making the clouds go away, or is it something
No,
else?
they
that
came
kills
because
bird?
the clouds went away. And he's gonna like get real close to you guys now. And this is like Dart at like the very much like he is at very much like the most ease he's been at. And he's gonna be like, and he's gonna like snap a bunch of these flies and then be like, "Look, the clouds went away, and we are a lot of frogs, and we used to sit on lily pads, and we used to eat things, and then some of the flies, they used to glow different colors, and you'd eat them, and then your eyes would go, and then you would just zone out for the rest of the night, and it was real great. And I'd make bubbles, and I lived in water, and we'd see, you avoid the turtle, and then when you avoid the turtle, then you don't have to worry, you go sleep, and then every once in a while, you'd see a crocodile or some kind of other alligator or, like something else that tries to eat you. We're frogs. We're little, man. Things eat us. But But let me tell you, then it would rain. And when it rained, you were like, ah, and it was so nice. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful rain. I like the rain. You know, sometimes, and then the rain would make the water bigger, and then I could live on the water, and I'd go sleep, and I'd eat these things. You know, when you eat the ones that are colored, then you can just zone out for the rest of the night. I can't do that anymore because the clouds went away and the rain stopped, and then the birds came, and they fucking killed my family.
The 100 was your family?
So now we live here, and we stack dead things, and then really ugly flies come, and I eat them, and he goes, and eats another one, and he chews on it and goes, they're little, and I can't zone out. So I've been speaking to you guys now for like 15, 20 minutes, and if you look up, there's a bunch of birds, and we all need to run. Roll initiative.
I was wondering what you were doing over there this whole time.
I know. I was saying, I'm like, what's happening?
I'm waiting for the drop.
I couldn't help myself. I'm so sorry.
I was waiting for the drop.
I was looking for something.
Too innocent for too long.
I don't actually have a map for this part, so we are just gonna play this one out because you are not gonna actually be able to stop the birds, so you need to run from the birds. I just need to know what your initiative is.
Great. Rebel got a 12.
17 for me.
Elias got a 4, but it's a nat 1.
Jesus
And I got a
Christ.
7.
Okay, so you got a 12 and a what?
17.
Oh, very good.
And
You
then
said a 7 and a nat 1?
7 and a 4.
Yeah, nat 1. Cool. Okay, so let's say your all's average is like 8, maybe 10. I'm gonna get 2 licks in on you with the birds before. So as he says that and looks up, you notice all the frogs like start scattering different ways. Some of the dead things start to fall over. Shadows go over you, and then you look up and there's just like a murder of sparrows. Like little, very thin beaks. They're like these little brown birds that are like they have like these long drawn out like pieces above their head, and they just start diving, and you watch as like one of the frogs off to the left just gets ripped open as it like picks it up and just flies back up with it, and like you just see like a cartoon style like blood ring as it like goes up. And all the frogs are scattering and like freaking out and like trying to hide under these dead bodies as more. And then some of the dog bodies get like the bird like dives into it, rips out, comes out with like pieces of it, just taking chunks of them off. Everybody roll dexterity saving throw.
Come on.
Yeah.
Looking
gotcha.
for
Yeah.
looking for a 13 for the first one.
Nope.
Nope.
None of us made it.
Cool.
I don't know what's happening today.
I
but
refreshed D&D Beyond for a reason.
Y'all could just use your dice.
My real dice have been just as bad mean to me today.
Oh, well, that's not my fault.
Oh, and of course I drop it in and I get a nat 20,
Dang.
which I can't use. That's great.
So Meryl and Bramble, you both take 6. Eli takes 3. Thistle, you take 4.
I think how much?
4 points of damage. This is going to be bludgeoning, as instead of trying to grab you or anything, the birds are just like smacking into you and like hitting you around, trying to make like wear you out. You would your movement's going to be halved. You're going to feel confused. I just need to know which way we scatter, or where you're going, there is theoretically a small river up ahead, about 100 feet. Or there is thicker woods to the north of you. And then about I want to say like a good like half a mile off is Greybark Forest if you were to run straight there. But you need to start running. Or, I guess, trying to fight a swarm of murder of birds.
No, absolutely not.
Running.
Yeah.
So, you start to scatter. I think we've established that our movement, running-wise, is 60. The first is going to be 30. I just need to know which direction you're going. Water, Greybark, further into the forest.
I think forest.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys...
Just because...
The water.
I was honestly thinking water too, thinking we could dive under the water.
Okay, so cool. 2 of you are going to the water, 2 of you are going to Greybark.
More places to perch and more places for us to be ambushed, at least out in the open. We can...
Cool.
If it comes to a fight, they're either going to be out in the open where we can have a better chance of hitting them, or we'll be able to either get in the water or find some other way to get away from them. But in the forest, it just makes it too easy for us to get ambushed and jumped. We can't keep track of all sides when we don't have clear line of sight. The birds are going to keep up with us regardless, so...
So 2 of you start heading towards the water. The other 2 of you start heading straight to the forest. As you guys are going, the second frog that was with you, like hops and tries to be like, you need to get under a butt, and then a bird just grabs it up, and Dart looks and he's like, I hate birds, and starts hopping. Dart moves 40, whereas you all move 30, so he's a little bit ahead of you every time. But he's following you to the water.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna be staying with them because I actually do have a movement speed of 40. But
I didn't know that.
So I would follow Dart then and take Thistle with me, and then we'll.
Okay.
Because we would start heading, but we would change. I think we would change our direction to follow the frog who survived all the bird attacks.
Right.
Cool. Give me a dexterity saving throw again.
So can I Misty Step and start, and can we use our feline line? Can we use our agility?
17's good. You use whatever the heck you want.
Is it everyone needs to roll dex save or just those 2?
Everybody.
21.
Nice.
It's another nat 1.
Okay. On a nat. Okay, so is he the only one who got below a 13?
I got a 12.
Okay. So Eli goes to move. The one frog that just gets smacked up behind him. The wing smacks Eli, and he rolls out. And as he's starting to get up, you're helping him. And one of the larger birds lands right in front of you guys and scoops hits the ground in front of you, and its talons dig into both of your legs for a second as it misses you, but rips up some of the dirt. So you both stumble as you start to run. Both of you take 4 points of piercing damage, and it lacerates as you are running. So you'll take 1 point of bleeding damage. So add another point to it, Eli, for the nat 1.
Oh.
Okay.
As it bleeds. You guys get to this water, and for the nat 20, one of the birds dives towards you, and Dart jumps up and like you watch as he like stabs it on the side of its neck, and it like pulls down, and he like hits it with his tongue, and the bird like almost like dazes and like spins back up into the sky and then just falls out dead as it hits the ground and like rolls out. And Dark goes, get in the water, get water, and just dives in the water and is like gone. Because Dart is a frog, and the second he hits the water, he is stealthed and just gone from the world.
Meryl would hop
Yeah,
in.
let's all jump in.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Roll a group stealth check with for the water.
I'm not really into Beyond anymore.
Definitely
Mine's
got
a 24.
24, 25?
No, 5, not 20.
Oh.
5.
Mine was a 24.
24 to 5.
And a 7.
We both got 7s.
Cool.
I'm abandoning D&D Beyond for the rest of the night.
I'm not rolling it. I have a +5 to stealth.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so you guys hit the water and go upstream just a little bit, because on a 20, above a 20, Meryl would say go against the current, because they're gonna expect you to go down the current. Eli, I'm just going to assume you are just like whatever at this point, trying to get the fuck out of here. You look up.
I think
And-
Eli's still dazed from getting hit in the back of the head.
Pretty much. He's just like, I'm just
Yeah.
going.
Fuck.
You guys look over and these birds are just and there's literally like 50 of them just swarming, going in and out. You're watching as like they pulled pieces of the bodies up, and like it's just a feeding. Like it's like watching piranha go to town. And then 2 of them circle back and start heading towards you guys. Birds have good sight. You guys rolled really bad. The 2 of them pull back and go towards you guys. You have time to run? Question mark? I don't know. It's up to you guys. I don't know what you're all doing.
I mean, running is all we can do.
You see them. Okay, so you take off. Are you prepping a spell? Are you doing anything to stop them from hitting you as they come in? Dart's gone, I promise. Like,
already a spell to cast at them.
okay. So they all the 2 close in on you. The others are ignoring you. You have 2 to contend with. Stop me
technically
from
shield.
hitting you. What'd you say?
What?
Oh, I said I guess I would just technically shield.
Oh, okay. Cool. Is anybody doing anything to these birds as they slam down into you?
Well, I guess because shield's a reaction,
No,
because I could
shield's
do
fine.
it after they...
I agree
Oh.
with the shield. That's good. I'm asking the other 3.
Okay. Good.
Shield is
'Cause,
pretty
like-
smart. I was gonna ready like an attack spell, but shield is pretty smart.
I almost want to toss like a something over my shoulder. Like
Salt.
if I just like pop like a chromatic orb, just be like, pew!
I'll do I have Scorching Ray at 2nd level. It allows me to cast 3 rays of fire, so I can swing.
Swing. Go ahead.
At multiple-
Roll.
Do it.
Give me roll initiative with me.
I was thinking, could I ready like a sleep spell?
I got a dirty 20.
20. Great. Roll hit.
21.
Roll damage.
Yes. And that's for each ray, right?
Yeah, so that's 10 per ray, 10 damage
Okay.
per ray, and there's 3
So
rays.
you watch as like the birds the first one like dives down, and Thistle turns and you just see fire, and it flies off because it's not trying to get killed by a bunch of fire from a fox. And
Firefox.
right, this is Mina. And so you see, and then the second one comes flying in. Roll me a. What do you cast your spells on? What is your?
Intelligence.
No. Alex.
Oh, I'm charisma.
Roll me a charisma check.
Do it.
This is for how powerful your shield is.
That's a nat 20. And then +4 is a 24.
Cool. Bird swoops in, the shield goes up, and it just, and like as it like shatters through the shield, it turns and like shakes itself off, but it has like all these like arcane lines over it, and it's like almost dazed for like hitting it's like it hit a glass wall, you know what I mean, or like a window pane, and it's like it's like coming, and they're circling around. You have time to run again. You're running. There's like weeds and pushes, and then as you're getting closer, there's like these blue viney trees. You're going towards Greybark. There is a small fence. It's about waist height. The birds are gonna get one more dive at all of you. You guys did something just now. By all means, is any Eli, Bramble, are you gonna stop the birds from diving the two of you, or are you just gonna dexterity saving throw it?
Well, I mean, I asked if I could do like a giant sleep spell type of thing.
Go for it. This is just desperate running and trying to get birds not to scoop you.
I mean, I'm trying to think if Bramble would think to do that, right? Like all these spells and magic are still kind of new. Like her sleep spell is probably mostly just on her sibling.
I gotta say, you thought to do it, so I feel like it makes sense to me. You thought to do it. I didn't think to do it, and I'm the DM, so.
Fair enough. All right, so I need to roll 5d8 is what it says. All right.
Oh, right, yeah.
We're gonna make this work one time.
5. A 23.
Cool. Roll dexterity saving throw.
Okay. 4.
Cool. Let me roll some stuff. Okay. So you all watch as one of the larger sparrows grabs Bramble and takes off with her. And its talons sink into you. You're gonna take 14 points of piercing damage. And then you're gonna let the sleep spell go, and it's gonna, and as it like shakes its head, it's gonna drop you about 15 feet further up, and you'll take obviously you'll take 1 extra point of falling damage as you hit the ground and bounce and kind of like land on your feet, and it happens so quick. Like the thing grabbed you, dug into you, let you go, and it's like it's trying to get away, but now you're like on your feet. You're like, the fuck. You can react to it, and then we're gonna do Eli's.
Are you okay?
Eli, you don't have time to be talking. What are you trying to do?
I guess like Bramble would like freeze and be like pat her like.
Okay. I would just kind of glance over, see that Bramble's still moving, and just
survived.
Draw my bow from my back and just try to put an arrow in the one diving at me.
Oh, fantastic. Roll hit with advantage.
Okay. 15?
Cool. Roll damage.
That's 7 damage.
Okay.
And since I had advantage, that means I can use my sneak attack, right?
Yeah.
So that's an extra 9.
Okay. Either give me acrobatics or a Constitution saving throw, depending
Okay.
on how you want to weather the bird about to hit you.
I'll go for acrobatics and just say I'll try to like, as it swoops in at me, I just want to try to like jump over it.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, go for that.
Just sounds like you made it worse.
That's a 10.
Great. You jump and this bird clips the bottom of you as you roll over it like somebody getting hit by an oncoming car. Give me a second. You take 3 points of bludgeoning and 2 points of falling damage.
Oh god.
But the bird is like really effed up now. This is the one that got burned, so now it's got a fucking like arrow in it, and it just takes off over the forest and it's gone. There's one more. It's still chasing you all down because now it's making the swoop around after being like half asleep and grabbing Bramble. Do you guys jump the fence and run into the forest, or are we turning and trying to fight this bird?
Jump.
I'm jumping over the fence, going into the forest.
Okay. You guys push past the thickets and the dense part of Greybark Forest. As you all enter, the bird just comes. It doesn't enter with you, and it peels off. You guys are now in Greybark Forest. Congratulations, and this is where we'll take a break. During the break when we all changed our clothes, we were I think you guys just had the sparrow attack happen, right? So you guys just got pushed into Greybark Forest. That's where we're at.
Yeah, because we all ended up in the forest. Yes.
That's right. Okay, so you guys like desperately push into the forest. You watch as the one sparrow that was chasing you kind of like and like comes away. None of them are actually going to go into this forest. They might be on the outside messing with frogs and trying to get little things, but it doesn't seem like they're trying to push into where you're at in the woods. It's much Greybark Forest itself just feels more alive than it does dead, and the trees themselves, like these tall trees, kind of look like they almost like they could like get up and move at any minute. There's like this energy about everything. You can see like shadows shift and move as you guys kind of like walk a little bit further in to make sure you're like a little bit further away from these sparrows. I believe Bramble just got like pretty hurt. Honestly, she was picked up and like dropped.
Right.
And that was only because of like really quick thinking on everybody's part, and like the sparrow wants to sleep. So you push into the forest a little bit. Why don't you all talk about what you feel like doing, and we'll go from there.
Well, the first thing Brambles wants to do is cast a healing spell. So she's like, everybody okay?
I mean, I could always use healing. I'm a squishy wizard.
I feel you. Squishy. Whew. Starting to feel that way. Spells, let's see.
This trip just keeps getting crazier and crazier, huh, guys?
Yeah,
Birds!
it's like I tried to tell you that before we left.
Well, I feel like it's going worse than how it actually should be for some reason. I feel like, I don't know.
I feel like there's nothing we could have done. Like, we were given this great quest. What were you expecting? Like, honestly, I thought it'd be a little easier, but I think this is a quest of growth. God, I hope this is a quest of growth. This is crazy.
This is exactly what I was expecting. Actually, I'm honestly surprised we're all still alive. And for that, I'm proud of all of you. Let's try to stay alive and not be reckless. Please?
And everybody gets 18 points of health.
Oh, wonderful.
Wow.
Thank you.
Woo. Thank you. Meryl will, like, tip off her hat. Be like, thank you very much. Thank you, Cleric. Thank you, Elias, for your inspiring words of us not dying. We are, I think we're doing great.
Awesome. It's late afternoon, like getting into the evening time. The woods make it a little bit darker than it would be normally. That's when like you start to see little foxflies kind of wander in. They like open up. You see like little lights kind of flicker on. There are two kinds. There are the yellow and blue ones that are normal. And then there are these like large fuzzy pink things that kind of float about. I guess as you guys kind of like move through them, or move through, you're looking around. Thistle, I guess anybody who wants to can roll nature, or I guess I'll let nature would be good, unless the only one who could roll really history with this maybe would be Eli.
I'll roll history.
Okay. But everybody else, if you want to roll nature to see if you can kind of like tell what's going on, I'll give it to you.
I'm not. No.
I gotta say, I'm a sailor. I don't fuck with the woods.
Yeah, Bramble got a nat 20 on nature. Yes!
Cool.
Yes!
That's a great tree telling you about this area, because that's what we're gonna have to go on.
Right. I have a sense from the divine tree. Now go ahead and tell me what my sense was.
Very good, very good. So one of the things that the older kids like to do back home is they would get these little like tiny pink buds off of growing moss, and if you grind it up and like eat it, it makes you kind of feel bubbly or drunk, for that matter. These look to you like very large versions of that, and
just so you know, Bramble would never publicly do that.
Never. And on that note, you all can roll a Constitution save as a bunch of them pop all around you. So the save we're looking for is a 15.
I'm getting the physical dice.
22!
I got a 14.
Bramble got a 14, however, which is she feels is very embarrassing. So I'm going to use I don't know, what is that trait?
Oh, I'm sorry, the con save is 14. I was wrong. I read it wrong. It's a 14, not a 15.
Okay, so we made it.
I still fail.
Okay. Eli, that's fine. So if you failed it, you're going to take a couple points of poison damage.
Okay.
Either way, you guys start to feel like drunk as far as that goes. But it affects your mind a little bit the longer you go. So
since it makes you feel drunk and I'm a tavern owner and drink all the time, can I roll that con save with advantage?
Oh no, I'm gonna get to you in a minute. I promise. I have already thought this through.
Being drunk.
So it's more like, you just feel inebriated in interesting ways. I think that and as this is happening, you guys kind of like wander a little bit further away from like this area where like all of these like different things are popping off this moss and like popping. You kind of like corral them a little bit, Eli, because again, you have more sure footing while you're inebriated. At this point, though, Bramble, after he gets everybody to sit down, I think that as you sit down next to you, the tree would start to talk to you. And I'll get to each of you separately, but the tree itself right now, to Bramble, is going to be like, you know, I think you're doing a really good job here.
Me too.
I just have to commend you. I mean, we gave you this great quest, and here you are, like, into the woods. And you would start talking. I don't know, like, just whatever you would say back to that is kind of where
Like,
you're.
absolutely. I will be the best adventurer ever. Yeah.
Meryl, specifically for you too, I think that as you're corralled, you'd start seeing these like little bulbs of color, like almost like trying to like it looked like little lights going, like one would go on and it would go off and then it would come on over like here, and they would just pop off, but like they'd like change color, like it would be like this like cascading of like neon colors, and neon's not a normal thing to see, so I think that it would just be like these little different things to like lead you around in like different little circles or whatever.
Oh yeah, she'd be going, huh, and then keep trying to go.
Thistle, I think that you would kind of like see them do this, and you being a little bit bigger of an animal, it would take a extra second to set in. But then when it did, it would hit you kind of like, it would be like one of those people who would be like, I'm not drunk. And then out of nowhere, like, I stood up. You know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't have stood up. But I think you'd watch it, and then you'd start hearing, like, all of the little whispers around you of, like, and it would be like, it'd be like at night when you kind of, like, lay down and you can, like, listen to your siblings and you're in the other room, or your, like, parents in the other room talking. And it's, like, this, like, very like quiet, nice, just like heartwarming moment of like you like tunnel vision off into it. And so Thistle would be the person that's drunk, just kind of like sitting in the sitting on the couch, smiling. Like just smiling, looking at like the fan move, and like, but like these are all like Meryl's running around in circles. I think at this point Bramble has turned and is having this entire full-fledged conversation with this tree that is not talking to her. Mind you, there are no lights. Meryl's just in circles, and Thistle's just.
Like, how old are you? Like,
yeah. Eli, you are drunk, but this is like an average day for you. And
like, I imagine between being drunk and then also being a sailor, the sway that comes with the inebriated feeling would just be really normal. Like, my walking would look awkward, but I'd be very steady as I'm used to it.
Yeah. So you'd have like this thing where like after a while it would get hazy around you because like you get the tunnel visionness of it. Right. But like at the same time you're like, what? Like just react to all this, please, by all means.
No, I'm just watching the three of them. You know, at least this is actually the most peaceful night we've had since we left out, so I'm just gonna let this one slide. And Elias is just gonna grab a seat. That way he can keep an eye on everybody to make sure no one wanders off, but he's just kind of enjoy it. As long as everyone is like down and chill in their own little world, he's like, just let them enjoy this. They could probably use a night where something's not trying to kill them and they can have a little bit of fun.
Awesome. Roll me a d4.
Okay.
That's how much poison damage you'll take. Since of all the people that had Constitution for this, you apparently didn't.
Right. Well, I started drinking early in the day.
Yeah, you know.
Before we had to run away from the sparrows, so.
Right. The other three of you, please roll me Constitution saving throws again. Because I want to see how long it sets in and what we do from here.
21.
19.
Okay. Cool. Bramble, you'll start taking poison damage as well. So you can go ahead and roll a d4 for you. You won't feel it for right now, but it'll be there after you. Even after you all long rest, which is gonna happen it's gonna happen soon. Keep the damage from the poison at the end of that long rest. It's what sets in and stays to you for the day. So you'll start.
I got a 4.
Okay, so you'll start the next episode or whatever we do. After the next long rest, you'll have 4 damage because after the rest, you'll still have 4 damage from being hungover, basically.
Okay.
And same thing with you, Eli. Whatever you rolled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a 2, so it makes sense that
Okay.
I would be less effective.
You'll be like, ugh. So you watch as Eli, you're watching. It's been a while. You're doing all right. You take a swig from here and there, and you're watching them do their thing. It starts to slow down, and then you hear this, and the 3 of them immediately look over, and in their drunkenness are like, "I want to play with that," and start walking towards whatever the sound is off into the distance. And but all of them walk in different directions.
It's that way. That sounds
Where are y'all going? And
That
I'm just
way.
all
Yeah.
back.
I'm going to
trees
have
go
a
that way.
good time, obviously.
Thistle with a
This way.
19 and Meryl with a 21. They kind of sort to veer off in the same direction, but Bramble is like, I'm gonna follow the roots to this tree to my new friend.
Can I use Mage Hand to grab Bramble by the back of the shirt? I can't, but
Yeah.
I'm bigger than Bramble. That I feel like I should just...
Your mage hand is big enough.
He's big enough to hold Bramble.
You know what? Because
measure.
because Bramble is inebriated at the moment, I will allow it. You can steer her in the right direction with the mage hand.
Right, Mage Hand can't
This
lift
is
a
the
lot,
roll.
but I can lift up to 10 pounds, so that should just be enough to kind of pull on the back of the course correct.
I feel like this should be a roll. I feel like Bramble talking with trees.
I mean that's true too. Okay, let's see. Roll animal handling for Bramble.
Animal handling?
Yeah. Because she's in a feral state currently talking to these trees.
Exactly. Me and the trees go way back.
Okay, so you got 2 of them veering off this way, Bramble walking up this way. I just need you to somehow corral or let her go off by herself for all I know, but I mean
Can I see that they're kind of sticking together?
yeah, you can see that they're kind of wandering in the same direction.
Well,
I feel
those
like, yeah, we would be like, Thistle, I found you.
Let's go and see what that cool noise is.
Actually,
Yeah.
wait. I'm going to use silent image and make it look like it's just what would be out here this area? Those armadillo dogs or something? Just make it look like something is walking out of the bush line. That's what made the noise. To see if that can satisfy y'all and get y'all. So can I roll deception?
Yes.
Puppy!
I want to pet it.
It's so cute.
Right?
I'm rolling.
They go to touch it. No,
There's
they go to touch it and they go right through that thing into the
Oh
bush.
my god, I'm so done with the digital dice today. I'm done.
So now
There's gotta be
Morgan
more.
or
gotta be
Bramble,
more.
how far does Bramble walk? What's her walking speed? 25?
30.
30. She's
Yeah.
about she's a good
I'm gonna be following Bramble to make sure
Okay.
Bramble doesn't go off alone.
So you two are wandering. He's gonna go get Bramble. How are you gonna get Bramble back to where she's supposed to be?
I'm just gonna run up to Bramble, and I'm big enough. I'm significantly bigger than Bramble.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna kind of put 2 arms on her shoulder and be like, Bramble, this way, and physically trying to steer Bramble, turn Bramble around physically, and walk Bramble back towards the camp.
Okay.
You're telling me to go this
Let's see.
way.
You guys are about north.
Meet up with everybody else before we follow the routes. You
as
can't
you-
walk by yourself.
As you start to turn her around, these roots have all that moss on them, and a bunch of those things just and pop off again. So I need you to both roll Constitution saving throws again.
What we got? 16.
It's good. That's good.
I got a 16, and actually with my +3, it's a 19.
Okay, so both of you aren't poisoned, but you're still being more and more inebriated. I think at this point, it would be like running around while the room's spinning for you, and you're just trying. So I think at this point, Eli, like, you can't really tell where you're going. It's very hazy. You're chasing. You got Bramble now in tow, and you're chasing. You're going back to chase Thistle and Meryl. You're running, and you can you're still good at tracking things to some degree, and like you know the direction they went, so you're just like moving through bushes, and it's like that like drunken stupor of like, if I open this door I can just keep going.
Right.
And it's all like tunnel visioned, and like there's like lights for you, Bramble. The flowers and the trees and the vines are all like commending you on the great work you've done, and how like, and telling you that and then it starts to change a little bit, and there's like this moment in like this daydream state where like it shifts, and they're like, not this way, what, you don't want to go into the woods, that's where Dread is. And then, because you've heard that word before now, but you don't really know why you're thinking about it. But then everything kind of gets a little bit scarier, except for the fact that Eli's there. So you're like, I think you'd like kind of lean into being like, I'm just going to stay with Eli, because everything else is kind of becoming scary.
I was asked, like, do I know that Eli's the one that like picked me up?
Yeah. You have like, you fully, like, you look up and it's like, it's like the only piece of light you can see in the woods at the moment, and like Eli's just like grabbing you and pulling you through the woods, and
Mumbling to himself under his breath, like, "Oh my God, we gotta
I
do
think-
it again. This was supposed to be an easy night."
I think in fear, like, Bramble's gonna like wrap her whole body like around Eli's like middle section, and then like her legs around like his leg, and just, you know, it's like he's trying to like walk.
Man, your armor is heavy. You have to
it's
walk on your
perfect.
own.
So you guys are just colliding through bushes and branches, and every once in a while these things pop more, and they just get you more and more drunk as you're going, Eli. But you're trying to catch up to Thistle and Meryl, who have now found water, and there are these big fuzzy balls floating in the water.
Ooh.
We should go get one.
What
One
if-
for the bookstore?
Yes, we need it for the bookstore. What if I can I throw a rock at it?
Yeah, you do whatever you want. That's fine.
I like to
I
throw
try
a
to
rock at
use
the fuzzy
my-
thing.
Yeah, roll to hit with disadvantage. Like unarmed strike, just whatever.
Can I try to use, while she's doing that on one, I want to try to use my mage hand to grab another one.
Okay.
Oh, see, that's so much of a better idea.
So the mage hand, just roll a d20, and we're gonna say no, even better. Roll a charisma check.
Charisma check.
Because
It was an 11. Why did I haven't rolled digital dice all. That's dumb.
you both got 11s. Okay, cool. Very, very equivalent drunkenness. So the mage hand like grabs it, and you can't feel it, but it looks very puffy as you grab it. It's actually just a flower bud, but to you
Like
it
a
looks
cloud.
it looks perfect. It looks like a cloud. You throw this rock and it hits, and you hear like a for whatever reason in your mind you hear.
Thistle. Oh my gosh. Do clouds sound like bed springs?
They squeak.
Do they? I
I
wonder
want to try to
if all...
squeeze the one. Does it make a noise?
It's making a noise!
So you bring the fluffy thing over with the mage hand, and now you both are just playing with this fluffy ball that is just a flower, and like a very hard flower bud. And as you all play with it, it's like slowly falling more apart. But like you can't. It doesn't matter to you right now.
Oh my gosh, this
It's
is
so fluffy.
I think this is about the time that Eli, you, and Bramble would just rip out of the bushes to the side next to them, just having a ball with this giant flower bud as this giant waterway, like river. But I don't even know if you'd noticed the river at the first.
No, at this point, I'm exhausted from being drunk and carrying Bramble in her armor, and I just bust through this bush. It's just like,
Eli, look, it's so fuzzy.
and it squeaks!
And it squeaks.
It
It's
talks.
so fluffy.
everybody, please sit down.
I'm seated.
We are seated!
They are both completely standing as I say this, but yes.
Please sit down.
I am. It's fine. It's fine.
You know what? I got this for the This will come in handy, and I'm gonna go into my bag and pull out rope, and I'm like, everyone, hold on to this.
As long as I can keep my fluffy thing. I'll need one hand to hold the rope.
This is
I feel
amazing.
like Bramble feels safer attached to you. So I don't know if she buys the whole rope thing, like, you know.
I thought you were gonna like wrap us all together.
That is plan B.
He's giving us a chance.
Oh my god. All right, so
That is
everything
plan B.
everything calms down. You guys have the rope around you. He made like a circle. You're all like cats having to sit inside the circle. Fluffy thing is there. It slowly is falling apart, but you guys slowly kind of doze off because I think that's the end of being drunk for you, is to finally fall asleep.
Yeah, no, we are definitely setting up camp and sleeping this off.
I don't know about setting up camp. I know about falling asleep though. Like
I will
100%.
do my best to stay up as long as I can and take the first
Thank you.
watch. But yeah, no, definitely everyone needs to go to sleep.
Yeah. Everybody roll me a d20 for their sleep.
Good dreams, people.
That's right. Nope, no digital dice.
I totally got an 8.
You got a 19.
I also got a 19.
I got a 4.
Okay.
Okay.
So on a 4 and an 8, you
You're
guys
still in the shit boat with me.
on a 4 and an 8, you both just have blank nothing. You go to sleep, you're dead asleep. You have no memory of going to sleep, you have no memory of running around. All you know is that you sweat it all off, so you're gonna both wake up like sweating, but we'll get to that in a minute. On a 19. Wow. I don't often get to do happy things for Thistle or Amethyst or anything.
For dreams especially.
That's what I mean. This is fun. I would think that you're a kid in your dream, very young. Your parents are running the bookstore. It's almost like right when the bookstore first opened up. And I think for a moment you'd have this memory of Garvey and Eli coming in for the very first time. And Garvey talking to your mom and dad about how he's going to set up a tavern here, and he really wants to know, like, he's like getting a feel for everybody in the town because it seems like a nice little town that he just wants to like retire in and live his days off. And he's talking about how, you know, he used to be aboard this ship, and it was with his like most loved person ever, Kasha, and blah blah blah, and how now he's not going to be, you know, using the ship anymore because it's going to do something else, and he's just tired of all the craziness and just wants to retire with his friend here. And but Garvey's like, but I think I want to have a family, and You remember that's the very first time Garvey ever met his now current wife. Because she was in the back of the bookstore reading books to you. Because you're a little kid and she used to watch you during the daytime.
Aww.
Because she wanted to have kids of her own. And Garvey and her met in the middle of and you have this memory, and it's like this very cloudy-esque kind of like, you know, like this, like a memory like a child would have that you're kind of like almost remembering. And you remember Garvey and Eli talking as they're about to leave the bookstore, and Garvey going, no, don't steal from here. I'm about to try and talk to that woman over there. And Eli's like, all right, and he starts putting books back from the bookstore. Because Eli, being a younger person, he used to just steal from everywhere they went. Eli has nothing to say to that because he's not in this dream. But anyway.
Thistle would not like this guy. She's like, you can't take from my parents' bookstore.
Meryl does it.
Okay, none of that matters right now. It's a very good dream. You remember everybody being super nice. You just have this memory of like this funny moment between them. And then it kaputs. You have a great sleep. When you wake up, you won't be all sweating. You'll just wake up like tied up to each other.
Like weird composed fluffy thing. Like, where did this come from?
this half dead plant.
Right.
But we'll get to that in a minute. Eli, what did you roll? You rolled a 17 or a 19 or something?
I rolled a 19 as well.
Okay. You're on a ship. The waves are crashing overboard. People are like bucketing the top of the ship, and you are just so happy because you're at sea. You're currently not smuggling anything. This is the way out. Like on the outtake, Garvey, it's a little bit, Garvey's a little bit younger, but still old. And I want that to be like really understood that although Garvey is younger in these memories, he looks the same. Like he is an old dude, but this is like when Eli was like years ago.
Right.
Same dude.
I would consider Eli to be like 7 to 10 years older than everyone else here.
Yeah, no, easily. You're like your mid 20s, late 20s, like late 20s, and they're definitely younger. And Garvey looks exactly the same. Like 7 years ago, did not change, nothing. But Garvey comes like walking out of the captain's quarters. And he's like, I love that woman, blah blah. And he's like drinking and talking, and the ship rocks, and it's all, and you look around and you see like all of the like the people who run the ship, like the crew, they're all ghosts as they run around and like bucket water off and throw off, and you watch as a tall, thin Catwoman in armor comes out the front door, and he says, "So where are we going this time?" And Kasha turns back and responds that the kitten caboodle is on its way to Omni to change realms.
Okay.
And so you are at the front of the ship, and you watch as the realms change. You hit the horizon line, and it like shatters almost through this like way of moving, because only her ship is allowed to go from realm to realm, being a magical ship. And it makes its way into the realm of Neverwhere, where Omni is currently presiding.
Okay.
And this would be your first time entering this realm.
Cool. Do I remember anything that's specific about... Well, I guess we'll get to that later. I need to think on that. I need to process.
Okay, very cool. The horizon changes. You get the first hit of sea spray as these birds come through. You watch as all the ghosts change into animals, like you, and Kasha looks out and goes, "I think this is where I'm going to make my new home." And the ship pushes on, and she leans over, and some of her books fall out of her bag into the water, and she looks down and goes, "You know, after the couple years I've had, that should really anger me. I'll have to find them later." And then you will wake up. And everybody wakes up riding on a large lily pad tied together. The lily pad is going down the waterway. As you guys kind of wake up, you're holding a bunch of your books are scattered across it because like Eli like tied you guys up before he finally fell asleep, like tied you all to each other, but he doesn't remember like sitting you all down properly. But you guys sat down on a lily pad at this where this big fluffy thing is in the middle of, and the lily pad detached from the thing is, and so now floating downstream. And you guys just wake up having floated downstream for a good couple hours. You get your long rest. There are a bunch of books scattered on the thing, though, because you both have bags of books that have now been floating, but none of them are in the water or anything. They're just a couple of them are scattered about. I think that as you guys are grabbing through them, why don't both of you roll not investigation. Why don't you both roll perception with disadvantage since you're kind of drunk? Well, not drunk, but like coming out of it. And just tell me what you get. It's not very high. I just need to see if you notice the names of some of the books.
Apparently I do, even with disadvantage. I got an 18.
What the fuck?
I got a
So you guys are helping her. I guess the three of you are picking up books. I don't know what Bramble's doing. Bramble is just coming out of a dead sleep.
I love it that Bramble's always the last one to wake up.
Oh yeah, Bramble's never gotten better sleep in her life. Let me tell you, like.
Bramble did not get to sleep in.
So.
Mage handing all of these books.
Yeah. So on an 18 though, one of the books is named Lost Mercenaries. And it's written by D. That's all. It's got a really like etched off author, but it is a book written specifically by somebody that has the first letter D and like L at the end of their name. Thistle, you see this, and you remember this is a book you used to read as a child, and it kind of like comes back to you. Because it was this little like story, and it was like one of those like little books, like you know what I mean, like one of those like children's like almost like little tiny books, and it was almost like you're just like, oh yeah, like I do remember this. There were like 4 heroes, and they were from some like adventuring guild, and that's like when it all comes back to you, like there was a big monster that they tried to save the clouds from, like this is like the fairy tale. There was a paladin and a panda that was like this big savage, like giant, like this big red panda that really used to like attack things, and the paladin used to have to like try and keep it like from being mean. And there was like this large wolf with a magical sword, and it used to talk to people like in their heads, and like these are all like cartoon characters at this point. You know what I mean? Like, and like it's all written down, but like there are like crayon drawings of it from like what you did when you were a kid in the book. So like there's like this like panda bear like this, and like they're like in the like crayons all over the place. And for whatever reason, it just says that like the night Mount Laurel changed the sky was the night they disappeared. And at the end, there's a bunch of question marks, and you have like written notes about how this is not a good story because that's not how you would end it. And like, it's like you critiqued this book as a little kid.
Would have been so much better. So much better.
But it does mention that there were 4 people that came from the Adventurers Guild, but only 3 of them are talked about in the story, which is another critique you had.
Interesting.
So, yeah, and good.
Could I please? I think I am now Bramble. I think Meryl would ask if she could have it. She would try to use mending on
Okay.
the book to see if she could like try and figure out like she would try and take some paper and like etch over the scratched out name to see if she could like, because even if it's scratched out, she would try to like she would try a couple of different things.
Cool.
Yes.
With mending, it kind of works. It comes back. The name is Duval. It's like it's actually a Dual, but you would say I'm white, so I say it Duval. If I'm being real, but and there are pieces of paper that are missing, but like for the most part, that's who the author is. It's Duval. It definitely talks about Madison. It seems like a much older book, though. Like, this is definitely from, like, before Thistle was born.
Interesting.
Right.
Does that name ring a bell, though? Like, does
who?
that name ring a bell in other books?
Roll history. Nope. Your face changed really fast there for a second. No, it doesn't seem, you've never seen that author before. This is probably the only one that you would have currently. Your other books doesn't like strike a chord with you or anything.
There's no like about the author page in the book?
No.
I would like to add that as a critique in the book, please.
Good question. Yeah, absolutely.
Very
there
good,
should be a
very
list at the end.
There is, now that you've used mending, though, and you've opened the book to write a critique on it, on the inside it does say property of the Vault, which is the Mercenaries Guild.
Ooh.
Interesting.
From the Floating City.
Guild.
Eli would know that the Mercenaries Guild is a guild that is very dedicated to the betterment of Omni, and he was asked to join it at one point because they take in, I don't want to say troubled, but they take in people who have done bad things and help them find new lives as part of their thing. Garvey also decided that he wasn't going to be a part of that because he met a woman. And Garvey has a very, the reason Garvey doesn't like the Floating City is because of the Mercenaries Guild, and he's tired of those people. So that is what you would know about it, Eli.
With all this noise going on, can Bramble like just get comfortable and like turn over and like settle in a little bit more? Like, this is great background.
Yeah, by all means, if Bramble wants to go just straight back to sleep while they're floating down this river, I am here for it.
Can we at least make notes of what we're passing? Like, we can try and get the direction. I want to understand where we are on the map. Like
Yeah.
Where are these mountains? Are they to our east? Like, what are we doing?
They are still to the east. You all are currently floating south.
Yes.
Don't we need
Okay.
to head it north?
No, you wanted to head. Well, I mean, you can head whatever way direction you want. You got to go east.
Going northeast.
Currently, you are going south. Because that's the direction the river flows.
Are we closer to where we started? If we're going back the way we came?
You're not going back the way you came. You came from the west. You are now floating south. This episode's going to... Go ahead.
I'm so sorry.
No, go ahead.
As I'm looking around,
Mm-hmm.
can I please look down into the water? to see if the what about because you said the lily pad came detached and we're moving.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look down.
Yeah, didn't one of those people we met in the woods mention something?
Yes,
Yeah.
the frogs did.
Thank
Cool.
you for
So we
bringing
would,
that
like-
up. That had slipped my mind after.
Roll investigation, I guess.
I think I should just get
It's a gradient to see what you notice. That's all.
Wow.
11. Sorry, I kept getting stuck.
Cool. You look down and you see the little piece of the lily pad that was like the stalk, kind of like floating behind you. The river's picking up speed a little bit, and then it like starts to, and then you can look forward and see it's about to enter a big opening into a bunch of other things, a bunch of more lily pads. Now there are like these floating ethereal jellyfish kind of like coming out of the water around you guys.
How close are we to the shore?
It's a pretty big river. You'd have to get wet to get there.
Well,
And hopefully all of you can swim if that's the case. Bramble in her armor would be very interesting to see that happen.
I was like,
counterpoint.
Okay.
What if to get to, because we want to head to the mountains, could I kind of like, if I chromatic orbed with enough force,
Mm-hmm.
could I kind of, it's like a paddle,
Okay.
where we kind of launch ourselves to the other side of the river where we don't have to get off of the lily pad.
Okay. So you're going to shoot a spell into the water. Yeah?
Not the water.
Oh.
Just
Because I think that's like what you'd have to do. Like force-wise, you'd need to like, you know what I mean? Like you have to make the ripple
Kinda
to.
launch-
You have to make
Yeah.
you have to make the wave to like push you.
yes,
Okay.
I do have to do that, and I need to make sure I'm being sure of my actions here.
How far? It's a
So
big river. We're in the middle.
yeah, you're about to enter a big like opening because you can see the trees start to like part. So you know that you're gonna hit somewhere soon.
I don't want to do that. So,
well, I mean, Bramble would wake up if you did that.
Bramble's probably gonna have to wake up either way at this point. It's funny because we said that as like Bramble's card came up, and I was like, "Oh, look at her cute little face."
Now, what you
Just-
could do is if seeing Meryl about to try to use magic to solve this problem, instead of shooting the water, could we shoot at a tree along the riverbank and try to knock it down into the water?
Oh, to like stop us?
To at least get close enough that I can use the rope and try to.
Yeah, man. I'll allow you all to shoot a tree.
Dude, like, this
Okay.
magic has been so
I mean, I'll let you all do whatever you want. I'm just ready to do it. So.
all right, I would like to shoot trees, please, because that way.
Trees.
So that way.
So, there's a couple like smaller ones on. I'll say you can see.
Do that. Is there a tree that looks like it would be big enough to get close enough to us in the water if it fell from the shore?
Yeah, you're gonna need a pretty good spell to knock the tree over. I'm gonna tell you that.
Yeah, at this point, I say let's not upend ourselves before we have to. He said we're going into a big open area with other lily pads. Worst case scenario, let's get there without falling into the water, and then just make our way across the lily pads to get out of here.
I'm gonna shoot at the tree respectfully.
Respectfully. Roll to hit, man. No. No. You know what? You're on a moving lily pad. Roll to hit. Yes, I'll let you roll to hit the tree. Chromatic orb. What kind of damage are you doing?
Well, it's gonna be force damage. It's
Very-
not gonna be fire damage.
Fire damage is awesome.
Have a fire.
Your damage is normally great, but I don't want to set the tree on fire. I want to
Giant fiery tree falling on you guys.
And you set the whole forest on. I mean, that's probably one way to deal with this dread guy. If we just burn down the whole forest.
The whole forest? Wait a minute, we can't burn down the whole forest.
It's an 18.
Roll for
Not the
damage.
whole forest, just enough.
Hold on.
Roll.
It's like a-
You know what? Wait. How much damage do you do with Chromatic Orb normally? Like what's?
I can do a 3d8.
It's 3d8. Get above a 12. I'll say the tree falls over.
Okay. Hold on, I have to find my 8s.
I think that seems super reasonable.
Great. I unfortunately only got a 10
Okay.
because I definitely rolled a 1 and a 2.
Okay. Meryl, like smack, and this tree, like it rocks, and some birds fly away. Some of these floating ethereal jellyfish kind of like part away from you. They're like, "Fuck this thing," and like the tree just, and it starts to fall, but like it's staying put. If somebody would like to help her hit the tree.
Meryl, that was a great shot. I'm impressed you hit it. It's very hard to shoot a moving target on a boat. I know that firsthand. Good job. However, let's not draw attention to ourselves, seeing as we just got chased into these woods by a bunch of murdered sparrows, and that we're already warned that this forest is extremely dangerous. Let's not let everyone know where we are.
But yeah, I'm just trying to get us to shore because I feel like the water below is kind of spooky. We don't know what's in it.
I agree. I do not want to be on this water without a solid ship under my feet. I can't steer this thing like I can a boat.
Well, the spell is definitely going to wake up Bramble, and she's going to jump and be like, "Stop! You're not!" And then like kind of realize where she is. Like she slept longer, right? Because she hasn't been feeling well, right? Because of the poison damage.
Yeah.
And so, can I be like, "What's going on?" And like, can I cast? Was it detect poison and disease?
Yeah.
To figure out like what's going on with Bramble's body.
Yeah. You have you got poisoned by the moss. It's like you're hungover. Like for better or worse, you're hungover. You got some aches, but it's nothing that's gonna persist. It just you feel sick.
You're saying I don't need to cast it.
Get to shore, I'll make you some breakfast and put some food in your stomach, and you'll feel better in no time.
Yeah. I think.
Well, Bramble, I'm so happy that you're awake because Eli and I were just talking about how Eli doesn't think that you can shoot down that tree. But
No.
I was trying to give you a head start, and I think that you can hit it from.
Well, obviously I could hit it. Well, you know, but it's a tree. Like, I don't know how the divine tree would feel about me hitting another tree. I mean, unless the tree was like evil or something, or was doing awful things. I don't know if trees do that. Well, the trees.
Are there evil trees?
I don't know.
There are definitely evil trees.
So that is evil tree. Like I can't really tell from here.
Well, that's fair, but we are using the tree as a vessel to try and get to shore. Because as you can see, we're kind of floating right now. So I think I have every confidence that you are strong enough to hit the tree.
Well, you realize the whole time we're having this conversation, we're moving further downstream from this tree.
Yeah,
we got time.
You got like a moment to decide if you're gonna throw something at this tree, Bramble.
Well, I just got challenged by Meryl, so unless Eli says something opposite, I'm shooting at the tree.
What are we shooting?
Well, you said we shouldn't.
I said, what you shooting?
Okay, we're going with the silence. Well, she had so Bramble definitely wants to prove something to Meryl, especially after Eli gave Meryl a gold star, right?
Right.
He didn't give Bramble that gold star, and Bramble tried to help heal him. So she's going all out. We're using guiding bolt. We're gonna blow this whole thing out the water.
Just
Literally.
roll
Wolverine.
roll to hit.
24.
Yep. Roll damage. just
12 damage.
Bramble turns and like basically like barely even looks, just finger guns, guiding bolt. You watch as the tree, it hits the exact part of the tree that you hit. Tree it just hits the water.
Right.
The wave slows down the lily pad as the lily pad just and knocks up against the tree.
Wow. Bramble, that was incredible.
I knew you could do it, Bramble!
That was a very good shot.
Yes.
You know
So-
what? I'm gonna have to get Garvey to get the two of y'all on a boat. You shoot better than men I've ridden with for 10 years.
I need
So-
you to put a gold star in Bramble's hand.
Bramble's little paw.
Give her a
Bramble
gold
needs a
star,
gold star
Eli.
too.
The day we are just waking up.
Give her a
Stars,
gold star.
stars are not handed out until the end of the day.
I think on that note, you would feel the river move and the tree shift a little bit, and the water would pick up as you guys started to get off the lily pad onto the tree, because the lily pad's going under the water at this point. And we will end it there as the water begins to pick up in front of the tree. And what a great episode. Thank you, everybody. This is episode 2. And I love you all. We will see you all for episode 3 very shortly. Bye, everyone.